Vernestra Rwoh's Lightwhip made its live-action debut in the Acolyte episode Teach/Corrupt, so let's talk about the history of the weapon in Star Wars. Vernestra created hers about a century before the events of the series after seeing it in a vision. She was able to adapt her purple lightsaber into a light whip by adjusting the blade's containment field to make it more flexible, so it could work as a regular lightsaber, but with the turn of a dial it would transform into a whip. She was hesitant to tell other Jedi about the weapon at first because light whips were associated with the dark side and particularly the Night Sisters of Dathomir, but Vernestra points out that historically the Jedi were also known to use whips, finding them to be effective combating the forbidden forms of the Sith during the Sith Wars. So light whips have some history in canon, but it's mostly been told to us by Vernestra in the books of the High Republic, and there's some information to be found in RPG sourcebooks. Its appearance in the Acolyte marks the first time the weapon has been seen on screen like this, which means a lot of Star Wars fans are learning about it for the first time. So let's talk about its larger history in Star Wars Legends. The first light whip appeared in the classic Marvel Comics issue 95 way back in 1985. They were still fairly rare and still had some links back to the Night Sisters. Sith characters like Lumia or Githany were also prominent wielders. The same way the Jedi used light whips to combat the Sith, Githany chose to wield the variant specifically because of its rarity, hoping to confuse her enemies with it. The main way light whips were different in Legends were in their creation. Where Vernestra's lightsaber blade was adapted to become flexible, Legends light whips were always whips and couldn't become a firm blade. That's because they were made by using several smaller lightsaber crystals that were stranded together along a cord. Making a light whip in this fashion meant the wielder could build several strands to the whip, like the one wielded by Lumia. But that's really all there is to know about light whips right now. But before I go, let me mention the electro whips that have been seen in animated series like The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Fans often mistake them for light whips, and they are similar. They're still whips created by energy, but they weren't quite so lethal as a light whip. They could be wrapped around an enemy and used to electrocute them instead of simply cutting them to pieces. But that's it for today. Just a quick video on the history of the light whip. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.